Welcome to the Computer Workshop, Terminology and Basics. Today we'll be going over common computer terminology, an overview of the operating system in use, a hands-on navigation, exploring the internet, we'll start up an email, and navigate a Word document. And for the end, a quick review. So here you can see the common computer terminology we'll be going over in detail. Let's start with hardware. The hardware refers to the physical parts of a computer and related devices. Examples of a hardware would be called a monitor or a printer. Your hardware is what you need to use the internet or perform certain tasks, like creating a resume or job searching. Depending on the type of computer you have, you may need additional hardware for it to fully function. A desktop, for example, will need a monitor, keyboard, mouse for it to all be usable. Unlike a laptop, which already has a monitor and keyboard built in. Next, we have a hard drive. Now this is where all your documents, photos, contacts, and all other content is stored on your computer. Now a hard drive is also found in mobile devices, like a phone or a tablet. Hard drives are built into the hardware and can be called internal hard drives or internal storage. Think of it as a filing cabinet. It's going to hold all your documents, and when you do need something, you just open your drawer and you pull out the paper. That's how the hard drive functions. Now this hard drive that you see here is called an external hard drive or portable drive. It is the same as a hard drive in a computer, but it can have a slightly different purpose. So why do you need a hard drive outside your computer? Well, to protect your data and keep a backup. With an external hard drive, you can create a copy of your internal hard drive in the case that, let's say, the computer breaks. Most external hard drives connect to your hard drive through a USB port. And, for example, you can, let's say, have a briefcase. So you take a document out of your filing cabinet, which would be your internal hard drive, and you put it in your briefcase, which would be considered your external hard drive, so that it goes with you on the go, a little bit lighter. Now there is one other type of external hard drive that you might be more familiar with, and that's this one here, a flash drive, or if that doesn't ring a bell by its name, maybe known as a jump drive, thumb drive, pen drive, or a USB keychain. They're all one and the same. It's important to note that portable hard drives and flash drives, while they do have the same function, the main difference is how much they can carry with them. So a flash drive is perfect to hold on to your resume, cover letters, thank you letters, and other important documentation you may need on hand. So a filing cabinet for big internal storage, photos, content, and much more. If you need something a little bit bigger but still portable, you'll have an external hard drive. That would be your briefcase. And a flash drive you can consider as a portfolio binder. Again, something quick that you always need, transcripts, resume. How are we doing so far? Not too bad? All right, let's move on to desktop. Your desktop, some may call the computer itself, but it's also the name for the initial display for your computer after you've logged onto it. It is your background picture, icons, folders, and taskbar. Think of it as your home base to start what you need. Now on the desktop, you can save documents, photos, or programs that you want to be able to get to fast. These will show up as icons. And we'll get more into what a program is in just a bit. But speaking of icons, these are the visual representations of a file or program on your computer screen. Here you can see the icons representing a program, the Word document, Internet Explorer, the program Microsoft Word, and File Explorer. These are the visual markers on your desktop or in File Explorer. Now the taskbar is a row of icons to start a software application or switch between applications that are already open and just minimized. On the right side of the taskbar, you'll have the notification center, the time, date, volume, and what's called network center. Now the notification center is where you would have an email notification to tell you that it came through, maybe calendar reminders that'll pop up, or any other notification that you want brought to your attention. Now in the Network Center, this is where you're going to find out if you're connected to Wi-Fi, which Wi-Fi, or your Bluetooth connections. And if you're having trouble connecting to the internet, you can always go to the Network Center for details and help. Now keep in mind the taskbar can vary in look and be set up to your preference. As part of the taskbar is the Start menu. This is where you can access your computer programs, folders, and settings. All programs are listed in the menu and even has a search feature where you can just type in what you're looking for. We have mentioned programs or applications in the previous slides. What we mean by the program or application is that is what you are using to perform a certain task. For example, the Internet Explorer for web browsing, or if you have video games, those are on your computer, those are also considered computer programs. But it's also known as application or app for mobile devices if you're more familiar with that. Here you can see the program or application, Microsoft Word, and that is used to create documents, flyers, resumes, or letters. Now let's move on to File Explorer. This is what you use to organize your programs, documents, and more by location, desktop, photos, music, folders that you can even create yourself. You can create the folders to keep them more organized. So an example of creating one is that you can keep one for all your job applications in one location. You can also create a folder for job searching and store in there your resume, a copy of your transcripts, or diploma. That way it's quick for you to find and you know exactly where they're at. Now a dialog box is a pop-up window like the one you see here. It appears when the computer needs the user, that's you, to make a choice or provide information. In this example, the computer is asking, would you like to save my document? I have the choice of saving, not saving, or canceling and continuing my work. Anytime you see a dialog box appear, make sure you read it fully, then continue with your choice. Now let's talk about the network or internet access. This is the ability to connect to the internet using a computer or mobile device to access services like World Wide Web or email. There are two ways to use the network. The first is Wi-Fi. This is a connection without a cable. For most devices, this is the only way to connect. Computers have the option to connect wirelessly or through a second way, which is called hardwire. Computers can connect with an Ethernet cable to a router and gain access to the internet. Most mobile devices cannot connect this way. A router or modem provides that internet, and you could choose how to connect your computer via Wi-Fi or hardwire. Either way, it's going to give you access to search the web or use programs that require the internet to use. Now, a network example, you can see here an Ethernet cable. These connect physically to the desktop or laptop through the Ethernet port. The other end will connect to the router using the same type of port. The other connection is Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is not connected to anything, and it distributes internet to the desktop, laptop, and mobile devices all over the air. Now the web browser. World Wide Web, browser, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, they're all one and the same. They're all web browsers. Now these are programs that allow you to access sites or information. A site would be America's Job Center or Indeed.com. Information that you may need to look up, let's say tips on an interview, where to find schools, or what are thank you letters. You can all do that with a web browser. Now that we've discussed hard drives, desktops, and programs, we have to talk about what runs it all. The operating system. It's the software that you need for your computer to turn on and function. An operating system operates the desktop, runs programs, and manages your stored information and more. Various operating systems are on the market, but currently in our resource rooms at America's Job Center, we're using Windows 10. Other systems you would hear about would be like Windows 7, Windows 8, Mac OS Yosemite, Mac OS Catalina, Android, and iOS. Even though they are different, their purpose is the same. Now that we've gone into some common terminology, let's put into practice what you've learned. So if you do have a computer in front of you, go ahead and open up the Start menu and view the applications on the panel. So bottom left of the desktop, the icon that looks like a window, you'll click there and your Start menu is going to open. Here you can take a look and see what's downloaded on your computer. You'll find a magnifying glass all the way over to the left, and that's where you can search for a program that you want. You'll also see a little gear, and that's where your settings is. So you can change your desktop background. You may be able to change how bright your display is. This is a good starting point for you to kind of explore And don't worry, if you do click on something, a dialog box will pop up. Remember to read what the dialog box says before you make your choice. So now you've taken a brief navigation of the desktop, let's work on another. We'll be navigating the main page of the Internet Explorer and see what tools we have available for us and the settings that are available. Go ahead and open the Internet Explorer. The icon can be found on the desktop or in the Start menu or on your taskbar. Whichever one you choose will get you to where you need to go. Once the window for the Internet is open, we're going to start from the top left of the window and go through the tools to the right. So top left, we have a back and forward button. Now these may not be highlighted in blue, but the more searches you go through or the more pages you bring up, you'll notice you can go back to the pages previously or forward if that wasn't what you needed. Next to that is the search bar. This is where you enter the site address. For example, here, it's America's Job Center of Kern.com, and that's what's going to take you to this page. Or Indeed.com, Yahoo.com, anything like that is a site address. Next to it, you're going to notice some tabs. You can have multiple web pages pulled up, and you can switch back and forth between them. This comes in handy when you're researching, let's say, for a school assignment, or comparing stores or job postings. Over on the top right corner of the window, we have what looks like a negative symbol. This minimizes your page. So in case you have to get it out of the web browser, but don't want to lose where you're at, just click that and it's going to drop down to your taskbar. When you're ready to have that back up, click the Internet Explorer icon and it's going to open right back up. Now if you want a bigger display of your page, you'll click on the square and that expands it to take full screen advantage for you. Now, if you're done with the internet, of course, you hit the X and that's going to close everything out. Right below the minimize, expand, and exit, you'll see what looks like a house, star, and gear and a smiley face. The house is your home page. If you're browsing and decide you want to go back to your home page, just click on that and you're there. Or if you have a favorite website you want to access or a previous page you were on but can't remember the exact URL or site address, you can click on the star. That star will show you any of the pages you marked as your favorite, or what you have viewed before in your history. This is also a button you can click when you want to add a website to your favorite, so it's saved. The gear is the internet settings, or where you can click to print. The smile is to choose if you're happy with the website or if you want to send a frown. It's a small feedback option. Below those, you're going to see the scroll bar. You can move it up and down on the website by clicking the arrows at the top or the bottom of the bar, or just click and hold the bar to move it. So it's a scrolling feature, especially if you need to get down to the bottom of the page to say find the employment or careers tabs on company websites. I would leave the Internet Explorer up for this next step. We're going to be setting up a Yahoo email account for this example. We're going to navigate the inbox and how one would use it or how to attach a file. So on the Internet Explorer, in the search bar upper left, type in yahoo.com. From here, let's go through making an account. Click on the Sign In to start the process. It will take you to a window just like this, and we're going to select Create Account. Fill out the boxes, first name, last name. You'll want to create a username, come up with a password, and add your birthday. Now keep in mind the usernames, you want it to be something very professional, especially if you're going to use these for job searches. First and last name, some numbers, last name, an initial. You don't want it to be too spontaneous or too crazy. And remember to write down the password so you don't forget it. After you do that, it's going to ask for your mobile phone number. This is required to verify you're wanting to create this account. They'll be sending a code to your phone to authenticate. We have to check that we're not a robot, and then we continue from there. You'll enter the verification code that was sent to your phone via text message. Once you enter that code, then you'll click Verify, and it's going to take you to a Yahoo page, and from there, we can go to your inbox. Let's take a look through the inbox and learn what you can do. On the left, we have our email panel. You can go through your inbox, unsent emails. You can look at drafts and sent items. You can create folders also to organize your emails. Some I would recommend is maybe bill confirmation, job confirmations, other information you also need to find very quickly. In this area here, this is all your inbox. Currently, all we should have in this brand new email is a welcome email. As you start using it more, the box of course is going to fill up. If it's highlighted in bold, just like this email, that means it's unread. Now let's click on Compose and go through creating an email. You'll see that the email panel here is still available in the Compose view. Also to the right, you'll see that there are 3 lines titled To, CC, and BCC. The to is where you enter the email address for the person you wish to send the message to. The next is CC, which is where you would put the other intended receivers of the email. They may just need to know that they're aware of the message, not directly who it's going to directly. BCC is called a blind copy. That means you can send an email to someone in the to section and also to another in the BCC without the to receiver knowing that it was also sent to them. There is a notification that someone got it, but it won't disclose who. The subject line here is where you'd put the title of the email. You'll see here we have attention to HR administrative assistant position. That way the sender knows the exact intent of what the email is going to be. Here is the main area to convey your message. You can type your cover letters here when you send your resume or thank you letters to employers that you just met with. Speaking of sending your resume, see the attach file button right here? Let's click on that. You're going to see there's an option to attach multiple files. Click on the browse and a pop-up box will prompt. Here's where you're going to see File Explorer, open to show files for you select. Now on your own computer, you'll probably see more information on there, but you should see your resume and your cover letter. Go ahead and select the file that you want and click Open. This is going to attach that document directly to your email. Now that you guys have seen what an inbox does and how to attach it, let's make sure we show you how to sign out. So there's a person icon in the top right, and there's going to be an option when you click there to sign out. It is very important that you know that when you log on to a public computer and just close out the Internet Explorer, it leaves your email signed in. So please remember to log out and close all the windows. We want to make sure safety is first. Since you need files to attach, we probably should discuss creating a file. So here we're going to create a document. We'll be going over opening the program, selecting a template, a brief overview of it, and then practice and save. So let's go ahead and click on Microsoft Word, again, either on your desktop, through the Start menu, or maybe it is on your taskbar. When Word first opens, it's going to show you options for different templates. Today we're just going to be using a blank document. Go ahead and double click on it to open. Now that we have a blank document, let's go over the tools that we have. At the top left, you're going to see the document tabs labeled File, Home, Insert, Design, Layout, and the rest of them. They will all help navigate what you want to do in the document. Currently, it is on the Home tab. You can change your font, size of your words, color options, if the words are going to be bold, or if you're going to have them underlined on the page. You can also change your alignment. Left alignment is what we currently have. There is center and right alignment. Let's practice using some of these tools and type up a cover letter for practice. Let's start by making our alignment center. And then you're going to want to type in cover letter. Press the enter button and then type under that practice lesson 1, because we're practicing, of course. Once you have those, let's go ahead and press enter and change the alignment all the way to the left. And then we're going to type the date in bold. Press enter and type what you see on the presentation for the remainder. Do not forget to add the spacing in between to make sure that you're not typing in bold format. Now once we're done with this, there are 2 ways that you can possibly save. A quick save up in the very top left, right above File, you can click the Save button. Or you can click on File and go down to where it says Save As. Now when you click a Save As, you'll have to give it a title, so you can put cover letter, and then you choose where to save it. This is great because you can choose to save it on your desktop, or if you have a thumb drive connected, you can directly save it there. But since we aren't needing this document, we'll go ahead and close out of this and hit cancel. And then we'll close out of our Microsoft Word program. So just like the internet, up in the top right, there's an X. If you go ahead and click that, a dialog box may appear asking about saving this document, and you'll click Don't Save, and the program should close. This is going to be the last navigation I have for you guys, but here are some review questions, things that, may help connect the dots for you. So you want to think to yourself, or if you already know, what's considered a hardware? And if you answered monitors, printers, and desktops, that's correct. Operating systems, it may vary depending on what you're using. You could be watching this on an iOS device, an Android device, or you may be on your own computer. That could be a Windows 10 device, or it could be a Mac OS. All of them, though, are correct operating systems. So where can you save your documents and photos? You can save them on your desktop, you can save them in File Explorer, and you can save them on external hard drives or flash drives. What's considered an application? Well, we used two of them today. We used Internet Explorer to create your Yahoo account, and we used Microsoft Word to create the sample letter for you. Now, what's the difference between Wi-Fi and hardwire? Wi-Fi distributes over the air to laptops or mobile devices, your phone and tablet. Hardwire, you have to physically connect your Ethernet cable to a desktop or laptop to get internet. And lastly, where can you find more workshops? Well, everything can be found on our website. We do offer other workshops. You can always call and ask about them and what is offered. We have more services that will be available as time moves on. Any questions or comments that you have, you can always, again, reach out at 325-HIRE or visit our website. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned a lot today.